Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages, welcome, and thank you for joining us on this glorious evening as we embark on our journey on the road to glory.
What's up, party people of the SFL? What's up, party people of the LSG? Hey, and what's up, party people of the championship game? Welcome to ride number 15 on the road to glory. Good to see all the party peeps in the house. I see you guys piling in already. I will get to you guys in just a moment, throw you your shout outs as you know how much I love the party people. You guys know you're my favorite part. Real quick, before I introduce my sidekick here, just remember, after tonight, next Wednesday will be the final show. It will be the final ride on the road to glory, and then and my final show in the SFL. So next week, hopefully you tune in and we have a good time. Hopefully we're celebrating a championship. Either way, we should be celebrating a great season. We've got a great show for you tonight. We've got two special guests coming on from Baltimore. We're going to break down the Vancouver semifinal game, which if you haven't watched it, you got to watch it. It's an instant classic. What a great game. Vancouver is a great opponent, and we were fortunate to come out on top on that one. Of course, we will have all the usual suspects here. Bullets here, Freddie's here, Gunny's here, Mike All, Frank the Franchise, Wade, Nate the Great. Everybody's here. Yogi is here. We got a packed house on the show. We got a packed house in the chat, so we're going to be having a good time tonight. So let me get to introductions real quick. First and foremost, my partner in crime, the man, the myth, the legend, the owner of the Lone Star Glory, Mr. Charles Dougherty. Charles, what's up? What's going on? What's cracking? How you doing?
What is up, buddy? What's going on?
Here's what's going on. I don't know. Can you see this? Hold on. This is a big-ass glass of wine. I'm hoping it's going to last me the whole show. I don't know if we can do a quick show like we did last week, bro, but we'll try.
Dude, that's not going to last you through bullet.
Dude, it's a full glass. This is probably it's probably 15 to 20 ounces of wine, bro. It's almost a bottle, I bet, in this glass. This glass,
like I said, that's not going to last you through bullet.
Hey, this glass can hold a whole bottle of wine, by the way. That's why I bought it, just in case, just for something, just for a show like tonight, maybe. Cam Curtis in the chat saying that looked like motor oil, bro. It's a very dark red. It's a petite. It's a blend. It's half Petite Syrah, half Petite Verdot. It's very good from Michael David Winery in Lodi, California. No, I'm not getting paid to plug them, unfortunately, at least not yet. But anyway, Charles, what else is going on, bro? Are you excited or what? I mean, what a great,
man, I'm pumped.
What a great game against Vancouver. How exciting is it to be in the championship
game? It's amazing, man. I mean, that was a great game.
It really was.
We're supposed to go into details here.
No, we can break that down later. I just want to know how you feel about being in the championship game,
great, man. All the work that the staff put in and all the on-time progressions by players, and I mean, in the locker room. I mean, geez, this is awesome. This is the pinnacle of. You could say this could be the pinnacle of one's involvement in the SFL.
I agree with that. Pinnacle of someone's SFL career for sure. You want to introduce our partners in crime, our cohorts tonight?
Sure, if I knew who the heck. Oh, yeah.
I mean, you just throw somebody's name out, and I imagine you'll get to one eventually that's on the show.
Okay, so let's start with the guy with if you're ever stuck in a dark tunnel and you need to get out, you got to do the right one here because I don't know which box he's in.
He's in red.
Go to him because he will lead you to safety. He is the mine safety monitor, and he's also known as Bear Claw, and he's Albert Begin.
Hey, and look at that. He's in the red square. He's got the red safety lights on. Is that what you meant, Charles? That headset, he could lead us out of any tunnel?
Follow me if you want to live.
Follow me if you want to live. Albert, what's up? Welcome back to the show, bro. What's up with the headset tonight, man?
Nothing. I just, felt like coming deep from outer space. Like Charles always tells me. Just give him his wish, since...
I don't know if I've ever said coming deep from outer space.
Yeah. Well, that's
you
what
will
she
soon.
said. Hey,
Bullet, get on that. Bullet.
Dude, that looks like E.T.'s finger on the side of your face right there.
Noted.
You want to touch it?
You want to touch? Why don't you, Albert? Why don't you just phone home? Why don't you phone home while Charles introduces the next guest?
Not fair.
Next panelist.
Well, the next panelist is a really cool person.
Hey, I'm already on the show, bro. I'm already here.
I think he's the offensive coordinator of Lone Star.
I heard that
And
rumor.
he's also a great dancer, I hear, and likes to wear a cowboy hat and sometimes with pants on.
Sometimes
Greg
with
Soto.
pants on. So, Soto, welcome back to the show. Are you wearing pants tonight, bro?
Greg, the Cuban Missile Soto, wide receiver from Indianapolis. Oh, I thought I was cutting the promo again for
No,
for
sorry, bro. That's later tonight.
Sorry. Oh, my bad. My bad.
No worries, bro. Most important question is: are you wearing pants?
No, not pants.
Okay, shorts.
They're a little tighter, but yeah, I guess you could say shorts.
Spandex, speedo. Where are we going with this exactly?
You know, let's just say shorts. It's okay.
Let's just call them
They're a little
shorts.
tight, but
Okay.
they're shorts.
Let's just call them shorts.
Yeah,
Yeah. Does Samantha know you're wearing those? By the way,
yeah. She likes it.
she likes it. Oh my god.
I mean, she's already sleeping, but
Yeah.
she normally likes it.
Okay, there you go. All right,
That's
awesome.
what happens.
Albert, Greg, welcome back to the show. Glad to have you guys here tonight, bro.
Thanks.
All right, folks. Let's check the party people. Let's check the chat. Who's the first one in? Cam Curtis was on 2 minutes early, telling us that we were late. No, Cam Curtis, like a lot of your girls tell you, you came too early. Hey, yo, thank you, everybody. I'll be here all night.
Wow,
Yeah,
man.
hey, hey, put the ball in the tee for
Don't
me.
piss the fans off, man. That's all. That's.
It's
I know
just-
that you only got 2 shows
Wait,
left.
it's just the number one fan, Cam Curtis. It's not like it's a big deal or anything. I mean, jeez.
All right.
Let me see who else is in here.
on the party, people.
Lovely, amazing, perfect pink Lisa is in his house. My favorite quarterback in the whole wide world, Ace Fennick, Albert Begin, Art Vandelay, Bullet Boletsky, Aletian. Somebody called about W at the top. I'm not sure who that is, but welcome. Gunny is here. James Walters, 87. James Walters, great game, bro, on Saturday. Josh
He's a good
Farnsey,
guy.
same to
James is a
Josh.
good guy.
Yep, same to you, Josh. Justin Reside is here. Good to see you, buddy. Kendra Hall is in the house. Mike All, Nate Hall, Cam. What? Cameron Irvine is watching the show. I can't believe it.
Oh, boy.
Pseudo Nakai is here.
Oh,
Who's
boy.
that guy? I don't know who the Pseudo Nakai character is.
I don't know.
I don't know either. TJ is in the house from Baltimore. Good to see you, bro. The Greg Soto is in the house. Jack Wigmore, Cam Curtis, and Frank, the franchise Wade. Welcome everybody to the show. If I missed your name, go ahead and at me in the chat. Otherwise, I'm sure I will catch you in a little bit. Let me go around the horn real quick. Actually, just to the two guys. I already asked Charles. Albert, just real quick. How you feeling, bro? How do you feel about being in the championship game this week?
I feel glorious.
Feel glorious. That's a great answer.
Feel glorious.
That's a great answer. Soto, how you feeling, bro?
Well, he took my answer. Other than that, no, I feel good, man. I feel good. It feels like we should be here. Feels like normal.
Yep. You know, it's interesting you say that. I kind of feel that way too. I kind of feel like because we've been so underrated all year, we've taken on a lot of quote unquote haters, however you want to classify it. But in our mind, in our locker room, on our team, you're right. Each week we felt like we had the better team. We were going to win. We planned on being here anyway. It just seems kind of normal. I think you're right, Greg.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting that Charles and Albert are on the show, and I can remember back after week 6, I told them we were going to be here. I'm sure they're probably thinking I'm completely out of my mind, and I was out of my mind back then. But yeah, it's good. It feels normal, man. It feels normal. This is the same feeling that I want this team to continue feeling, in the following years. So
Yep.
get used to it.
I get you, bro. I also did want to say, so if Baltimore had lost, they would have lost to Louisiana. We have a lot of people we know on Louisiana. We have a lot of friends over there, a lot of guys that, like us and talk good about us and really have our back over there. And so I just wanted to say to all the guys at Louisiana, you know what? It would have been nice to play you guys in the championship game. Wish you guys were here. Coach and I know Dougie's not on that team here, but Coach and Slyn Shady and all you guys, that would have been epic, right? You guys, that would have been classic if we would be able to play Louisiana in the championship game. Are there crickets?
Yeah, sure.
You want to? Yeah,
No.
yeah. Excellent.
I
Excellent.
can't. Go ahead, Albert, please.
No, please, you, please.
I
Everybody's so polite on this.
I you bring up a good point, but I'm just compelled to call the Rhode Island Power Company and see what I can do to get the Giddings power back on.
Hey, let me ask real quick, since we're talking about this. Soto, let me start with you. Would it have been more fun to play against Coach and those guys, especially the guys that were on our team before? Probably would have been a better storyline for the league. Or do you think, or is it better in your mind for us to play the reigning champs, the winner of 2 of the last 3 SFL championships, to say we beat the best team?
No, it would have. I mean, yeah, it would have been nice in a unique storyline. Yeah, I think you're right. I think you're right about that. There's something though that's extra to beating the defending champs, beating a higher seed than you, and also beating a team that already beat you earlier in the season.
Right,
so,
right.
I've been saying I got receipts. I mean, the only thing that I couldn't make happen was DC, because they beat us this season too, is for DC to be in the playoffs and have them, be in our way. But no, I think it's better to play Baltimore again. They're the most storied franchise, defending champs, higher seed. And again, and they beat us in the season. We hadn't played Louisiana at all, so it would have been interesting. But I think this is the better matchup.
Okay, Albert, what about you? Play the best team or play our friends over at Louisiana? And by the way, Frank the Franchise Wade, I meant to mention him and I forgot. Just like I forgot to mention him in the show post earlier today. My bad.
I think it's you have to beat the best to be the best, and I think that that's why we're playing Baltimore. I hate to, I hate to say it, but Greg and me knew we were gonna play Baltimore about 7 weeks ago.
Right.
Greg called it like 100%, but we knew we were gonna be playing Baltimore.
Okay. Before we get on to Bullet Boletsky and then break down the Vancouver game, let's update our little hate chart, if you will, or whatever you want to call this. We've talked a lot about all the pre-season predictions. We talked about Week 14, Mexico City, where we had to play them for the division championship. Overwhelmingly 107-49 against us. In the quarterfinals, even though we were the higher seed playing at home, SFL Nation 119-65 took Sioux Falls over us. Tyler Falk on his own show, Netma, in the final 8 teams, even though we were the 4th-ranked team, ranked us 8th. In the semifinals. Now, here you guys, when you start getting into these semifinals where we're going to play higher seeds on the road, I don't have quite as big a problem being the underdog, right? I can't even read the numbers. 112-58 is kind of a big underdog to Vancouver, but I expected to be the underdog to Vancouver, so that was okay. And then even though there were all kinds of Discord issues today, changing the Who You Got numbers, I was able to hook up with Deputy Commissioner and get some updated numbers. And here's the thing, and this is interesting. I'm going to go around the horn one more time before we go to Bullet, just real quick. Are you guys surprised now? We're playing Baltimore, the reigning champs, 2 of the last 3 championships, and now all of a sudden the Who You Got is a lot closer. Do you think that's expected, or did you expect it maybe to be further apart? Charles, I'll start with you.
Wow. I think it takes a while to convince people. And I think we're starting to maybe convince some folks in the SFL. But, from my standpoint, I don't really care. I just want to win. I don't care who picks us, who doesn't pick us. I don't get into that. I just want to win.
All right. James Troll has jumped into the chat, it looks like. And it looks like that's the only new person. Albert, what say you about that? What do you think? Is it? Do you think people are starting to believe in us now all of a sudden? Or what's the reason you think is the closer gap all of a sudden in the Who You Got?
I think maybe people are starting to believe about us. At the same time, I think they don't want Baltimore to win again. 3 championship rings.
That's a good point.
Kind of a good pick against. We've been beating everyone on the road, being the underdog. Why not pick us this time? Because we've already proved ourselves.
Okay.
But I think it's about the ring. They don't want them to get that ring.
That's a good point. So he brings up a good point. The Baltimore turned into kind of like the New England Patriots, right? Do you think it's more that, or do you think it's people actually starting to believe in us and that we can win and win on the road? I mean, we beat the number 1 seed, so it would make sense, I guess, technically, that we would be able to beat, not saying that we're going to, but be able to beat the number 2 seed in the same fashion.
Yeah, I think it's a combination of all those things, man. Them not wanting to see Baltimore get a ring, then, us proving that we could win, regardless of who we're facing. And I think the third factor is just people, naturally, a lot of us like to root for the underdog, regardless. So I think it's a combination of all three things. I mean, I even got some DMs as soon as we beat Vancouver, where they were like, "Oh, it's nice to see some new blood
Right.
in the championship game." So again, it's like that. It's that underdog, like a team coming out of nowhere, and making it to the championship game, and just rooting for that team because they're new. It could be a new champion. So I think it's a combination of all those.
Okay. Well, we are going to break down the Baltimore Lone Star Championship game later in the show. We've got 2 special guests coming on from the Baltimore Vultures. But before we do that, we got to go check out our main man, Bullet Beletsky, one of our many friends of LSG from around the SFL. Bullet, welcome back to the show. How you doing, bro?
What's going on, Dave?
We're good, bro. We're in a good mood over here. We're having a lot of fun at Lone Star. It's a good day.
Awesome. I'm with one eye. I'm watching my Rangers playing Pittsburgh.
Oh, there you go.
It's dicey there.
My Kings won in overtime last night, bro.
Really?
Beautiful. They're up
You know what?
Up 3-2 over
Hold on,
Edmonton right now.
I gotta run to my front door, Dave.
All right, no worries.
Sorry.
We'll fill some.
Listen,
We'll fill some
I'm
time.
good. I'm good, and my dog is going batshit crazy. Sorry, guys.
That's all right. I can hear it. Our dog does the same. Speaking of that, Soto, do you have any pets? Do you have any dogs?
I'm good now. I'm good. I just
Okay.
slammed my
Just
door.
trying to
spare
find
bedroom too.
Just trying to find some filler, bro.
Yes, I do have 2 dogs.
There you go. Perfect. All right, Bullet. I noticed in my DMs when I went to load this up, only
Yes.
4 bullet points. This is a season low for you. What's going on?
Well, there was a season low show in terms of time, right? It was like an hour,
Yeah.
and half of it was actually serious.
Oh.
So there wasn't a lot of material.
Wait,
so I
we
had
did-
to
We did serious shit last week?
kinda.
I was gonna say that's really not our MO, but okay.
I managed to extract the
There
non-serious.
you go.
Don't worry.
Perfect. Well, let's see what you got. We got 4 bullet points from Bullet Beletsky. So, Bullet, what do you got for bullet point number 1?
Okay, number 1. Charles and Bo have to be dating after the verbal filleting he administered to Bo while introducing him. Either that or he's stalking Bo's website and pulling info straight from his marketing bio. Whatever the case is, it's just another example of how tight this Lone Star team is.
We are super, super tight. Bullet point number 2.
Okay, number 2. Bo apparently loves talking about the D. While recapping the Lone Star playoff victory over Sioux Falls, Bo once again masterfully laced his comments with D references, but he started it off with my personal favorite when he said, "Everyone thought we were taking the D, but instead we were the ones giving the D."
Boom.
Bo has clearly demonstrated over the last few weeks that he is the master of the D.
He really is. I wonder if we should change his name to Doe instead of Bo. What do you think?
Sounds like a plan.
I think
I like it.
All right.
I like it.
All right. Doe Martin Jr. I think there's
Yep.
something. Oh, look
Sounds
at
good.
and look who pops up in the chat just as we say his name. Perfect. That is perfect. That's hilarious. All right, bullet point number 3.
Okay, number 3. During Mike's segment about the new SFL digital trading cards, we learned that, like the famous Honus Wagner card, the missile and bullet cards are super rare. So rare, in fact, that they don't actually exist. But we are not bitter. It's been leaked, however, that the actual rarest card in the set is a one-of-one of Coach Craven laying on a bed of hay, eating grapes. My sources tell me that Charles has issued a hefty standing offer to the league to purchase that card from whoever pulls it.
Charles, would you like to comment on that at all?
Yeah, I'm going to trade in my Gerald with the giant monkey wrench with the shirt off for Coach Craven on the bale of hay, or whatever the hell I said.
That's actually pretty awesome. All right. The final 4. We're down to the final 1. And Bullet, what
Okay.
is bullet point number 4?
Number 4. Rumor has it that when several SFL players were informed that they had non-fungible tokens issued in their likeness as part of the first SFL digital card set, they immediately ran down to their local pharmacies to purchase anti-fungi ointment and medication. Once the group was informed what an NFT actually is, they were all quite relieved.
Oh,
And that is all.
that is actually kind of
Nice.
true. I'm not
Very
going to
nice.
lie. I was on the phone with my pharmacist right after. That's why we actually cut the show short. Is because my pharmacy closed in like 15 minutes, bro.
Makes perfect sense,
It
Dave.
does make perfect sense. Bullet, thank you. We look forward to your very last bullet points next week.
What is he going to say?
I don't know what he's going to say.
I don't know.
I guess-
I did want to say, though, right now, Dave,
Yeah.
if I can really quick, that I'm rooting for you guys. You guys overcame a lot of the chirping in the beginning of the year, and I've obviously followed the team from afar, and I am definitely rooting for you guys this week. So there you have it.
Thank you, bro.
Bullet.
Appreciate that very much. Bullet, thanks again. We'll see you next week, buddy.
Take it easy, guys.
All right, a couple more peeps jumping in the chat. I already mentioned James Troll, but it looks like the man with the best first name in the entire SFL, David Leathers, is in the house. Good to see you. The mighty Joe Young, Guy Clausen, good to see you as well. And of course, Doe Morpheus Jr. has joined us as well. All right, guys, let's move on to talking about and breaking down this. This Vancouver game. Oh, shit, my bad. How'd that get on there? Hold on a second. My bad. Why is this other thing not coming up?
Is it stuck?
It is stuck. Hold on. There we go. Sorry, my bad. This was a game for the ages, actually. This was a game for the ages. It was an instant classic. If ESPN televised it, they would have replayed it immediately. A 20-17 game. I think we had the lead the whole game, if I'm not mistaken, Charles, but it was tight the whole way. There was never a huge lead. And, of course, Vancouver scored late, had some chances. We had that missed field goal. A lot of drama, a lot of stress down the stretch. How did you feel in those last 2 to 4 minutes or so when it looked like Vancouver was coming back and we were making mistakes, but we were able to hold on?
I knew the defense was going to do what they needed to do. I mean, they've shown it in the last 5 games. I mean, it's incredible. If you would have told me that we would be holding Vancouver to 17 points,
yeah, it's crazy.
Say you were smoking crack. I mean, that right there, it's incredible. I mean, that's one of the best, if not the best, offenses in the league, and our defense just did what they needed to do. I had confidence in them going into the stretch. I was nervous because I always am.
Of course.
But wow, they played their asses off.
Speaking of defense, Albert, let me ask you this. I think we won the turnover battle, right? I think we had 3 or 4 interceptions. I think Ace only threw 1 or 2. I don't remember the exact final stats right now, but defense was huge in this, right? Robert Redford was live. He was on fire at the beginning. He had a couple other big plays down later in the game, but for the most part, I would say we held him in check. We had a great rush on the quarterback. I think we only had 1 or 2 sacks, but we were always pressuring. Secondary played great. We didn't give up a lot of big plays. I think one really big play the whole game. That is an outstanding effort by the defense against the number 1 offense or number 2 offense in the league.
I don't know what your question is. You didn't really ask a question. It was all statements.
Yeah, you're welcome.
But what I will say is, yes, the defense played great. But yeah, no. We also
here's the
held
question:
their
how amazing
halfback.
was our defense, Albert?
Yeah, it's amazing. I mean, you said it all. What do you want me to say? I mean,
Hey,
I'm right here.
Hey, I have long questions, bro. I don't know what to tell you.
I know. I'm kidding. So what you want to add to that is that we did hold their running back to 40 yards. We've been holding star running backs for under, I think it's 60 yards a game. That's great on that front four. Bobo, Jukin, Yogi, Tina. They just been lights out with that. Defense has been amazing this season. I think it's the strong point on our team right now. Not because I'm a defensive coach or a defensive mind, but without that defense,
Hey,
you know,
what,
it's over.
what do they always say, bro? And you know Eddie says it all the time, but it's
Champion
been the thing.
defense wins
Defense wins
championships, bro.
championship. Offense puts the butts in the seats and pays the bills, but defense wins the championships. Real quick before I get to Soto, Harish, welcome to the show, bro. Kendra, I see you as well. I just saw somebody else too. Aaron Kozak, welcome to the program. Good to see you, bro. And Twin Screw, what's up, Twin Screw? How you doing, bro? Good to see everybody here. Defense wins championships, Soto, but for the most part, offense scores the points, bro. Let's be honest. Let's get real here for a second. We only put 20 on the board. Should have been 23 if James doesn't miss the field goal. Do you remember any other offensive opportunities that we really missed, or do you think it was just a pretty even game the whole way through?
Yeah, I mean, I'm going back. I mean, I was excited pretty much, the whole game. Yeah, there was a couple of chances, when the interceptions were thrown and stuff like that. There could have been one that we were down on their end of the field. I don't specifically know.
We did settle for a field goal that first time when I think we should have scored a touchdown for sure.
Yeah. And then, I wasn't being offensive coordinator. I'm not happy with 20 points. I'll take it. Don't get me wrong. I'm not going to like coming away with a win, scoring 20. But I always thought, and I said this on another show too, is where all week, I saw our defense take care of business, and they were not scoring, at least on our end, they were not scoring more than 21 points. So I always saw it, envisioning it like at 28-17, 28-21. So
overall,
my thing
both
is just
teams
trying to score at least more than 28 points, or at 28. I felt that we were going to win.
Do you think both offenses underperformed or both defenses overperformed?
Both defenses definitely came to play.
Yeah.
Definitely, like supposedly they say that they have a higher powered offense, and I mean they have shown that. But yeah, defenses came to play last weekend.
Charles, we talked before the game. I remember that. I think if I'm not mistaken, we talked and you weren't able to watch it live. You had to watch it later, so you had to keep your phone off and all that stuff and catch up with the game. While you were watching it, even though you already knew the results, did you cheat and peek, or did you actually?
I didn't know the results, brother.
No, you watched the whole thing through first.
I did. I looked at my phone right when I sat down on the couch, and I literally had 44 DMs.
So you didn't know if those were good DMs or bad DMs?
No, I didn't. And then I sat down and started watching. I'm like, where is this going to go? Hey, but last week I said Vancouver defense wasn't a squad you wanted to go to sleep on, and they showed it, man. They played really well. I mean, hats off to them. But our offense and our defense, they know what to do in the second half. I mean, that's all I'm going to say.
They do. Definitely, I would say, and Albert, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't remember many games where we've blown people out in the first half this season. It seems like a lot of our damage is done in the second half. Do you agree with that?
I agree with that 110%. I mean, we've been that second half team. We actually came back one game down 21 points to win, if you don't remember.
That's right.
So I think we get going and we try to stay at this pace, and then we come out of that locker room all fired up.
So, Soto, what do you think? What do you think about that? Why the slow starts for us, and do you think it could hurt us against Baltimore?
Why the slow starts? Yeah, I don't know. The playbook's the same playbook at the beginning of the game as it is in the second half.
Right.
So, yeah, I don't know why really we sometimes have a slow start. And am I worried about going down against Baltimore? No. Baltimore, yes, they're the defending champion. They've been here before, but we don't know any better. So it's just like, hey, we're just gonna throw everything out there and see what happens. I mean, we've gotten this far. Just like they say, they put their pants on the same way we do. They have the same time to work on the playbook that we do. They can scout the same. So, yeah, I'm not. I really do feel good about this team, about our team, and what the players can accomplish on the simulation. Um, and again, we're all coaching for the possibility of being able to see what we see in the Sims throughout the week. So, I Baltimore, yes, they're the champion, but this week is just like any other week for me. Um, and if we start out slow, as long as we could stay within 21 points, I fully believe that this team can come back, crawl back, and win.
Okay. Charles, I'm going to give you a last word on this real quick. You used to play with Vancouver. You coached over there. And what was the most surprising thing that you saw or did not see from Vancouver in this game, only scoring 17 points against us and losing at home?
Well, I have to be honest. I didn't do a full scouting review of the game
Yeah.
versus Vancouver, but when I watched it, it looked like they didn't go as aggressive as I thought they were going to go. Looked like they maybe toned it down a little bit, went to a little more 21 sets and single back sets. I thought they were going to go a lot of shotgun 5 wide 4, and I didn't see as much as I thought I was going to see. And our defense, I think that put us at the advantage.
Well,
Because they're, when you put that many wide receivers out there, Vancouver is hard to stop. I mean, they may get an interception or two, but they're going to get like 3 80-yard touchdowns. So I'm kind of glad that it looked like they kind of backed off from an aggressive standpoint. I don't know. It's not fair. I got to say that I did not watch the game a second time and break down the plays, but at my first glance, I thought they maybe toned it down a little bit.
Okay. Before we go to Nate's great plays, I want to welcome Real Slim Ron and Rimastino to the program, and Road Girl. All the R's are in the house. So
When are we doing the Lone Star Lone Store? Man?
After Nate, bro.
Okay, man.
Damn,
All right.
Relax.
I'm just
bro.
trying to go along with the agenda, bro.
Hey, Real Slim Ron in the chat. Lone Star, it's Ronnie Shanahan on the minor league San Jose flight. I'm rooting for y'all all the way. Take that championship win, Lone Star. Real Slim Ron, thank you for the support. Really appreciate it. Nate, are you with us, bro?
Yeah, I'm here.
All right. So, everybody, Nate's great plays of the week for our semifinal game against Vancouver at Canada Field. Nate, how many plays you got tonight?
I have 5 of them for us tonight.
5 of them. All right, let me get this video going here real quick. Season 18 semifinals, LSG top plays. Number 5, what do you got?
Number 5, I got JT with his 51-yard field goal to start the scoring off for us with 8:38 left in the first quarter.
Snap spot. Troll's kick is on its way. Does it have the distance? It does. Up and good. Lone Star on the board here in.
All right, number 4.
Number 4, Albert, I'm kind of a big deal begin with an interception with 5:15 left in the second quarter.
Albert, it's upside down, bro.
So wait a minute. I gotta hit the pause button here.
All right, go ahead.
Is James Troll on the couch next to you, Albert?
Albert,
If
you're
he
muted,
is,
bro.
Yeah.
Get his ass up and get him on camera for Christ's sake.
Hold on. James, come here.
He hasn't been on here all year.
Oh, that's
Come
true.
here.
He hasn't been on all season.
Hold on.
It's on
Hold on.
camera, brother.
Sit on
This is the
Albert's
famous
lap.
kicker. No, do not sit on my lap.
There he
Do
is.
not sit
There
on my
he is.
lap.
Wave to the fans, Nuggies.
James
There he
Troll, hey, James Troll, we have a very serious question for him, Albert, real quick before we go to number 4. How is it that he can make a 51-yarder, but he can't make a 30-something-yarder to ice the game? I'm just curious.
Point shaving.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Hey, at least he's honest, baby. At least he's honest. There you go.
He needs the money. I don't know what to tell you.
Boom.
man.
Oh, look at all the San Jose flight in the house. What's up, peeps? All right. What do we got for number 4, Nate?
Again, Albert began with an interception with 5:15 left in the second
Past
quarter.
the halfway point here in the second quarter. 2 wideouts to the right. Pepper going to look to throw, looking for one of them over the middle, and it's picked off for the second straight drive. The Glory are showing up here in Canada.
He's all, like I already said, Charles, number 4 is Albert Begin.
Back to where we should be.
Back to, yeah. All right, number 3.
Number 3,
With
Evan
Nate
Lacy.
Hall with the block.
Way to go, Charles. Way to fuck it up some
Nate
more.
Hall.
Way to fuck it up some more.
I'm just sorry.
I know you
I'm
are.
sorry.
Hey,
We love you,
Nate,
Nate. We
on
love you,
behalf, on
Nate.
behalf of the Lone Star Glory, I'd like to apologize for Charles.
It's all right. I'll be back next season, and you guys won't be. So it's fine.
Good.
All right, go ahead, bro.
Number 3, Evan Lacy with an interception with 10:37 left in the second quarter.
With Robert Redford a little bit offset of Pepper in the backfield. Pepper going to look to throw deep over the middle. That one's going the other way. Picked off by the free safety, Evan Lacy. And Lone Star's right back on the ball.
That was great. By the way, I also want to add, Nate, and I'm sure you already saw it, but Evan Lacy also with a key pass deflection either on 3rd or 4th down on that final series by Vancouver that helped us ice the game.
Yeah, that was amazing. Absolutely.
He's been playing out of his mind this season for sure. All right, number 2.
Number 2, and probably one of the most dissected and controversial plays around the league from this game. Number 2, Ace Tesoto for the 38-yard touchdown with 2:55 left in the third quarter. Was he or was he not?
Last time they were in this formation, Fennec threw a pick. Does history repeat itself? Ace, near side, same play. This time it connects to Greg Soto. It's tied. Lone Star at first. You don't succeed. Try again.
I didn't see any foot go out of bounds.
Here's what I think. I think he was in at the 11 or the 9 or whatever it is that people were talking about first. He was definitely out at the 2. But let's be honest. If we have 1st and goal at the 2-yard line and we have Ike McBride, are you really going to challenge that play? Because we're going to score anyway, right? You're going to waste the timeout.
Right.
So there you go. I don't know what the number 1 play might be, but why don't you tell us?
Number 1 play, Axis with his one-handed touchdown grab with 10:46 left in the second quarter.
Could you tell Albert one more time how many hands?
One-handed.
Now, for the first time in the red zone all ball game, Fennec looking for it all. First play finds Dave Axis.
That was pretty. I'll give it to you. That was pretty.
Lone Star.
I know Albert gives me a lot of shit about putting 2 hands. I don't know if you guys remember a few games ago where I had a top play where I had that really long touchdown. I think it might have been against DC. It might have been earlier in the season. And I ran holding the ball with 2 hands the whole time just to mock Albert and make a point. Charles, are you awake?
No, I'm good. I'm good.
All right, that's good. All right, Nate.
I love you talking about you.
Dude, that's something we
No,
have.
it's good. I like it.
It's
No,
something
really,
we have
it's
in
cool.
common. It's great. All right, Nate, thanks for being here once again, and can't wait to see what you have next week for the very last Nate's
Greg, you
Greatest
good?
Plays
Greg,
of
are
the
you
Week
good?
from our championship game, bro. Thanks for being here. We'll see you next week, man.
You got it.
All right, I'm checking the chat. Charles, the reason why we moved that back is because Freddie had to
Dude,
bounce.
it's it's
I wanted
your
Freddie
world,
to be
man. Whatever you want to do.
I want everybody here when we do it. So
I
let's
know.
let's
It
see
was
if Yogi's
great.
here.
Smart
Yogi, are
decision.
you around? I mean, this show is literally at this point just whoever's here. Let's just roll with it.
I thought you were gonna say shit show, but no.
Well, I say
Yeah,
that
I'm here.
enough. I think I say that enough. What's up, Yogi? How you doing, bro?
I'm doing great. How about yourself? Let me ask you a question, Diva.
Yep.
On your first trip into the playoffs or your first season, did you have any plays of the week catches?
To be honest with you, I don't think so. I think I had one. I had one against either. It was I can't remember if it was in the playoffs or it was the last week of the season against Mexico City. I had a sweet touchdown and I did this jump up, spike between my legs thing. But in the actual playoffs, I don't remember and I don't think so.
So you're really enjoying this one.
Oh yeah. Do you want to see it again? I can play it again if you want me to.
You probably should, just in case anybody missed it.
I'll tell you what. Hey, if you missed it, make sure you rewind and replay because that's all I really care about. Next week, it's just going to be a show all about Axis's great plays. That's going to be Nate's great plays of Axis.
The career, yeah.
There you go. Boom. And we're going to make sure Albert's here so you can see all my one-handed catches. So that being said, Yogi, I know there's not a lot to talk about, just like there hasn't been the last 2 weeks, but only one team to talk about, and that's us. So what's up down south, Yogi? Before we, we already broke the game down a little bit, but I'm sure you got something for us.
Yeah, y'all pretty much stole my glory. But it was 2 interceptions apiece for both teams. So that's all the turnovers there were. They were just both teams got key interceptions. They stopped a drive of ours. We got that Van's interception was incredible.
Yeah.
I think his play on that 4th down throw was the best play of the season for Van. That was absolutely incredible. I got a little stats for the game. LSG had 324 total yards. Vancouver had 289 total yards for the game. That was incredible
crazy.
To me. 54 rushing for Vancouver, 92 for us. We had 15 first downs. Vancouver had 18. They were 6 of 12 on 3rd down, 0 of 1 on 4th down. We were 5 of 12 on 3rd down. So both defenses really stepped it up in 3rd downs. Bo had 9 tackles, 2 assists. Freddie had 2 tackles, 8 assists, 2 pass deflections. J Mart had 8 tackles, 1 assist, 1 sack, and 2 tackles for loss. Linebackers played lights out all night. That was why the running game was stopped. As usual, Deuce spread the ball out to everybody. Soto was 3 of 52 for a touchdown. You were 4 of 46 for a touchdown. Deuce was 5 of 46, and Ziggy was 3 of 37. So he was just finding the open guy when he could. Ike was 18 for 82 yards and 4 catches for 26. So their air attack was spread out all over. 13-10 at halftime, and I'm going tomorrow to see a doctor to have my nails, surgically repaired from chewing them down to nubs during that game. It was incredible.
Yeah, especially those last 2 minutes, Yogi. I mean, the fact that all we had to do was hand the ball to Ike one time to get a first down.
Yeah.
Then we could have kneeled it out, but we kneeled it out. Then James misses the field goal, and we leave, what was it, 10, 11, 12, whatever seconds on the clock?
9 seconds, whatever it was. Dude, it was too much.
I was losing my shit during that time.
We've seen it happen too many times with 1 second left, 3 seconds left, and you lose a championship opportunity.
I mean,
I'd like to congratulate Baltimore for making it, and I think we're playing the perfect team that if we want to win a championship, we've got to beat them. I think we're perfectly where we need to be.
Yep, I agree. Hey, Yogi, before I let you go, let me ask you one quick question. Something I asked Charles earlier. What was the biggest surprise to you about this game? We've talked about the score being low. We've talked about how, they didn't pass the ball as much. What was your biggest surprise in this game?
The 289 total yards that we held them to.
Yeah.
I think their defense played lights out too. We just stepped it up one notch higher than them, and we're able to come out with a 3-point win.
Gotcha. All right, Yogi. Thanks for being here, letting us know what's up down south.
Thanks for having me.
And we'll see you next week for the very last What's Up Down South, Yogi. Thanks.
Hopefully, it's a glorious celebration.
Hopefully. I really hope so. Charles, I'm going to kick it back one more segment, by the way. So we're going to bring Gunny's mail call on here in a second, and you know what that means.
Can you? Yeah, you! It's time for mail call!
That's right. It's Gunny's mail call. Gunny, welcome back to the program. How you doing tonight, buddy?
I'm good. How are you doing? It's a glorious evening in Denton, Texas tonight.
It really is. And, normally I DM you the morning of, and ask you what you're going to talk about so I can get anything ready for you. And I totally forgot to DM you today, so I actually have no idea what you're going to talk about tonight.
Well, that's fine. I almost DM'd you to tell you my topic, but then I never did anyway.
That's all right. We're really good on communication. That's what we do.
That's what we're supposed to do. Hey, and my play of the week that Nate didn't do was that awesome play by Ike McBride where she went back about 10 yards and went forward about 5 yards to get that big first down in the fourth quarter that drove us down the field late in the game. That was a great play.
That was a great play. I think even the announcers were talking about how they couldn't believe what happened. All right, Gunny, you're up. It's all you.
All right. Well, tonight I'm not going to talk about the Lone Star Glory players tonight. I'm gonna give a shout out to the 3 people that have been on the show for the last few weeks, maybe all 14 weeks of the Road to Glory, and that is Bullet Boletsky, Mike All, and Garrison Blue, Frank Wade. I'm just going to read off their stats and just let them know how much we've appreciated them being part of the Lone Star Glory team this season. Hey, Bullet Boletsky, he came to us from the Madison Lynx in the minor league season 2. He was drafted by the Florida Storm, round number 3, pick number 49. He has had 809 rushing carries for over 4,200 yards, 51 rushing TDs, receiving yards of 300 catches, over 1,400 yards and 7 receiving touchdowns off of 308 targets. Also, just to let you know, Bullet Boletsky, since season 16, when he joined the league, he has been in the playoffs every season. He wears number 33. He's 6 feet tall and 210 pounds, and he's from the great state of New York. Bullet, appreciate all your bullet points. They are outstanding. Or in our case, they are glorious. Next up, it stands 6'6", 269 pounds. Number 77, defensive end for the Jacksonville Kings. He came with us. He came to Jacksonville via the Lincoln Rattlesnakes in season 1 of the minor leagues. He was drafted in the 3rd round, pick number 54. Mike All has also been in the playoffs all 4 seasons with the Jacksonville Kings. His stats are 103 tackles, 16 sacks, and 29 tackles for losses. Mike All, it was a pleasure meeting you last August, getting a ride in the Iron Man car and heading out to dinner with you. It was a great time to meet you, and I hope to see you again soon. Thank you for all that you do. You all are marvelous and glorious. Next up, Frank the Franchise Garrison Blue, 6'5", 255 pounds, number 86, tight end. He comes to us from Bossier City, Louisiana. He was a 2nd-round pick number 42 from the Las Vegas Fury. He played for the Annapolis Navigators in the minor leagues. He has, in his career, 147 receptions, 1,620 yards, 11 touchdowns off of 196 targets. Garrison Blue, Frank Wade, he's a high school football coach, outstanding soccer coach. He is a glorious gentleman. I hope to one day to meet this guy someday at one of these crawfish boils down in Louisiana. And with that, Dave, good luck to Baltimore. Shout out to my native Georgian, Frank Smith, and a couple of the other ones that have really been good guys to me. Mark Sheeman, please don't be throwing the ball over my head this time. Wigmore, please throw me at least a pass maybe so I can at least knock it down or something. Boom. But Baltimore, good luck. Best wishes. And with Dave, that is all. Everyone have a glorious night.
All right, Gunny, thank you so much for being here. Appreciate you doing this each and every week, and we'll see you next week for the final Gunny's Mail Call Championship Edition. Before we move on to the next segment, I want to say welcome to Doug Britton in the house. And Doug, happy 50th birthday yesterday, bro. I know it was your 50th birthday, and you're getting over being sick, having COVID. So I'm guessing you probably didn't celebrate too much, but happy birthday to you anyway, and glad to see you here on the show. Also, I just want to say, before we move on, when we decided to do this show and do a team show instead of a league show, we weren't really sure how it was going to be welcomed, how people were going to respond to it. And the mere fact that people like Bullet Boletsky, Mike All, Frank the Franchise Wade, and these guys were willing to come on board and help us with this show, even though it wasn't quote-unquote a league show, even though we do talk about other teams, we have guests from other teams, but it's not like we used to do before. Huge kudos to those guys for coming on anyway, not being on the Lone Star team, but definitely being friends of LSG. And so Bullet, Mike All, and Frank, we appreciate you. And to be honest with you, this show this season wouldn't have been the same without you guys. So thank you very much for being here. Appreciate it. Let me see. Nope, we got to stall some more, Charles. So let's start talking about this LSG Baltimore. Championship game. Sorry, I got sidetracked trying to make sure I put the right slides up here. And I want to bring in one of the guys we just talked about, Frank the Franchise Wade. He has a segment every week where he talks about the franchise that we're about to talk about. Now, Frank, I know that we already played Baltimore earlier in the season, so I'm not sure what you have up your sleeve tonight, but we are looking forward to it. So welcome back to the show, bro.
Sleeves? Who wears sleeves?
Oh, this guy. Hey, yo.
Hey, first of all, I'm going to apologize if I sound kind of drained. I've been going through spring practice the past couple of weeks, and when I get home, man, I'm wore out.
I get it, bro. Even more thanks for staying up and doing this with us then.
Well, I appreciate you having me. I enjoyed doing it, and I'm going to miss doing it once this show is
Charles, are you muted?
Rode off into the sunrise.
Sorry, Frank. I think Charles is saying something, but he's muted.
You're muted, bro.
You're muted, bro.
No, I said, Frank, I appreciate all the hard work you put in.
We couldn't hear you
when you're not doing SFL work.
I saw your mouth moving, but nothing was coming out.
No. Yeah.
Yes, Frank, we definitely appreciate you, bro. So, hey, what do you got? What do you got tonight, man?
Well, I want to talk about the two leaders of each team. I'm going to talk about the quarterbacks. I know I don't like to individualize my segment, but the game starts and stops with these two guys. They're the first to tell you that it's all about the team. They're just one of the guys, or they're skill guys or O-line that needs the recognition. They're very humble. But everybody knows that the play all starts with the quarterback. He and the center are the only ones that touch the ball every play. Jack Wigmore of Baltimore stepped into a good situation during season 15 when he was when the then Vultures quarterback decided to retire midseason. Before that, he was a non-contract player for Baltimore as a punter in season 14. The Baltimore fans are glad that he did not stay there at that position. In his 3+ years with, or 3+ seasons with the team, he has passed for over 1,300 yards, 103 touchdowns, 83 interceptions, and has been sacked 79 times. His playoff stats, he has thrown for just over 3,100 yards, 31 touchdowns, 15 interceptions, and has been sacked 24 times. Oh, and by the way, he has led the Baltimore Vultures to 2 SFL titles in that same time frame. In real life, Jack is from Arlington, Virginia. He is a junior in high school. He found the SFL in the fall of 2019 while flipping through the channels. He is also an associate head coach for Baltimore. He plays real football for his high school. He is a long snapper. And when he graduates, he plans on studying mechanical engineering in college. And that's what my son is doing there. So if you need any advice, Jack, you can reach out and I can get you two in contact with each other. Ace Finnick came into the league at the same time as Wigmore, and their stats are pretty similar. Ace has thrown for over 1,300 yards. He's about 200 yards more than Jack, but he's 10 touchdowns less at 93 touchdowns, 84 interceptions, and been sacked 85 times. But in the playoffs, there's a much bigger gap between the two. First, Ace has been in the playoffs 3 out of 4 seasons, whereas Wigmore has been 4 straight seasons. Ace has almost 1,500 yards passing, 8 touchdowns, 11 interceptions, been sacked only 8 times. In real life, Ace is been married for 20 years, has 6 children, 3 boys, 3 girls. He is the safety director for a major trucking company, been doing that for 8 years. He found the league one morning when he woke up an hour before his alarm went off, decided to watch a little TV, came across 11 Sports and an SFL game was playing. He decided to watch it, ended up watching the whole game, and ended up being late for work. After he decided to join, he met just about an hour or so after he joins, Jukin Rukin messages him and asks if he would like to be a non-contract player for Seattle in season 14. He played as a defensive tackle for the Seattle Tyrants. The locker room has been awesome, he said. Everyone is so cool, and they treat him very well. After season 14, he was put on the San Jose Flight minor league team where he was the starting quarterback. That's where, when he was there, he meets Coach Craven. They become friends. He taught him about the league, and he went to Lone Star. He introduced him to Charles and Dave, and we know the rest is history. He loves the league, plans on being here for the long haul, and to support it any way and as much as he can. He is the director of social media for Lone Star. His character is actually his brother Deuce's nickname. He didn't think that he would have time to play in the league, so he made his character after his brother to honor him, and he could watch the games with him. His jersey number comes from his favorite football player, Tom Brady. He's followed him since he was playing for Michigan. I'm very excited to watch this game. These are two great quarterbacks, two great people, and they do a good job running the offense. It's going to be fun to watch.
It is going to be fun to watch, Frank. And then I guess next week you're going to have to come up with a new topic because it'll be the last show. And you've already talked about Lone Star. You've already talked about Baltimore. You've talked about the leaders. I don't know what you're going to do next, but we're going to look forward to it next week, bro.
I will pull something out of my hat.
I'm sure you will. Thanks again, Frank, for being here. Appreciate it. Go get some rest, and we'll see you next week, man.
All right, guys. Y'all have a good night.
All right, you too. Let me welcome Bob Funk to the house. I just saw him pop in a little bit ago, as well as Jukin Rukin in his house. Jukin, good to see you, buddy. SFL Season 18 championship game this Saturday, May 14th at 2:30 p.m. Eastern. Lone Star traveling to Baltimore. Charles, let me start with you before we bring Jack Wigmore and T-Pat on the show here in a few minutes. Let me go around the horn one time before we bring them on. As you see this Baltimore team, you know that they've been basically the cream of the crop in the league. They're the New England Patriots over the last few years, right? 2 out of the last 3 championships. They're here again in the championship game, trying to make it 3 out of 4. Give me your overview, your sense of this franchise, how you feel about the people who lead it, the people who play on the field, and what you think of Baltimore as an organization overall.
Wow. They're the model for the SFL. I mean, from top to bottom. The owners are some of the classiest owners in the league. They show it on the field. I mean, they win every season. And, there's really not a whole heck of a lot you can say other than that. I mean, I'm glad we're getting to compete against Baltimore because, to be the champion in the SFL, you have to be able to beat the best team. I think Albert said that earlier. He might have stole that from me, but I think that we have to beat them, and if we beat them, then we've proven ourselves. And it's just, they are really such a classy organization, top to bottom. You don't have a lot of trash talkers on there. I mean, you got people that are really motivated, and they go on the shows and they talk about how motivated they are, which is great. But from top to bottom, it's just, they're the model. They're the model of the SFL. What more can you say?
No, yeah, I agree with that. And you know what I love about, so on my old show, I used to say, what was it, C at the T's? Well, Baltimore has a lot of T's, right? You got TJ, you got T-Pat, you got T-Roy, you got all these T's over there. And to be honest with you, Albert, all of them are classy. They've always been great to Lone Star. I don't know why you have a snake going in front of your face. I hope that's fake. I'm assuming that's James and not
I think
Tina.
James is happy to see him.
Hey-o. Hey.
You didn't say worm. That's a snake. Get it right. That's Tina. That's Tina.
Oh, is Adam the Worm Williams in the house all of a sudden? I guess. There you go. I'm with Charles on this, Albert. I don't really have any negatives to say about Baltimore as a franchise. They've been a class act since I've been in the league. They've always been very supportive of Lone Star, our shows, our leadership, the whole 9 yards. What say you about the Baltimore franchise?
I have nothing but respect for them. I've never had an ounce of issue with anyone from Baltimore the whole time I've been here for the last 4 seasons. They're just a great organization. People tend to model their teams after them. They're the best in the league. Yeah, like I said, and I kind of stole it from Greg, you got to beat the man to be the man.
Yep.
And That's where I get all my credit from, is Greg, by the way.
There you go.
And
although he never gives you any.
he never does. But it's okay. It's all right. That's Greg, the Missile Soto. So what do you expect?
You're full of shit. I've been quiet for a while here. You're so full of shit. I don't give
Love you, Greg.
Hey, Soto, let me ask you. Obviously, Charles, Albert, and I, let me ask you if you agree. Baltimore's the standard in the SFL right now, right? Over the last 4 seasons. They're the standard. Yeah. They're the team you want to beat to win the championship or to win any game. Give me your thoughts on the Baltimore franchise before I go back around the horn and we break down this game coming up this weekend.
No, just what the guys have been saying. You just you look at them and you're like, okay, that's the team that you want to be. You want to kind of have your players act like they do in real life. They're not really going into gen chat, looking for arguments or anything like that. They're they're just a team that you want to model yourself after, on the field and off the field. So really that's it. I mean, that's just it feels good. To be able to be in this game and playing them, because I do believe in the last 3-4 seasons, even if they haven't been in the championship, they're always in the playoffs. They're always right there, or they're winning. So you definitely want to be you want to beat like that team. You want to try to get whatever team you're on to be the next Baltimore Vultures, and be right up there and be there every season. So that's really all I got to say. I mean, yeah, there's nothing negative, anything. It's just they're just unfortunately they're just in our way right now.
Right.
That's it.
Charles, I think we've all agreed, with what we think of Baltimore as a franchise. As we welcome Benji Matson to the show, by the way. And that's great, and a lot of that is off the field talk. But let's talk about on the field now. When you look at this Baltimore Vultures franchise for the last 4 seasons, and we're getting ready to play them this week, what's the toughest thing about them? What's the best thing about them? What is the thing we have to key on the most when you look at this Baltimore franchise? And I know it's going to be more than one thing, but what stands out to you the most on the field about this team?
I think in order to win, we need to be able to limit our mistakes, but we also need to be able to respond every time that they, put points on the board. We need to come back and put points on the board. I think based on the way both of these teams are built, I think the second half is going to be crazy, and it might be the second half of all championship games.
Ooh.
I think both of these teams are built to do crazy things in the second half, and for the fans that are going to be watching, just enjoy, because it's going to be a madhouse.
Albert, talking about the second half, talking about Baltimore, talking about their defense and their secondary in particular. Their secondary is basically a who's who of great SFL DBs. You got Ivory Irvin, you've got Troy Loshaw, who I think it might be the reigning defensive player of the year. I'm not sure. Giovanni Bolt. I mean, the list goes on and on. How important is it for Ace to keep his interceptions down and keep the ball away from these ball-hawking DBs on Baltimore?
It's big. I think it's going to be a defensive battle if that happens. I mean, let's not cut our defense short with any of this.
Right.
I mean, they do have one hell of a defense, but we have one hell of an offensive coordinator. That's what I'm going to say. And the game plans that he's going to put in, I think is going to shred their defense and going to show weaknesses.
Well, let's go to that offensive coordinator. Just before we go, we're about to go to Jack Wigmore and T-Pat and bring them on the show. But Soto, let me go to you first. As an offensive coordinator, and you see those big defensive names, and you know what they've done in past seasons and past championship games and stuff, what's the key? What's the most important thing offensively for us against this Baltimore defense?
we got to try to keep their front four at bay. And look, I'm not going into this being naive. And Ace, if you're watching, you're going to get sacked. So it's just you're going to get sacked, and you might throw one interception. But it's trying to keep Ace upright too, and give Ace time. They're just very nasty up front. Not taking anything from our front four on defense, but these guys are just. We got to give Ace a little bit more time. Game plans has to be a little smarter on what gets out there, and give Ace some time. Really, that's what we need. That's the key. Hold the sacks down to a minimum, and just let Ace find his targets. The many that he has on offense,
right?
And that should be part of, and it is part of the game plan.
All right, well, let's bring in T-Pat first, co-owner of the Baltimore franchise that we've been talking about for the last several minutes. T-Pat, first of all, welcome back to the show, bro. It's been a minute, but how you doing, man? Oh, let me see. Is he? Oh, T-Pat, you're muted. There you go.
Got it. Sorry.
No worries. No worries.
I've been doing. Hey, I've been doing pretty well. Looking forward to the game. I love your show as always. How you guys been?
We've been great, man. I got to be honest with you. I think we went around. I know you missed the beginning of the show, but we went around the horn and we talked about would it be better to play our friends from Louisiana in the championship game, or do we want to play the team who's been the cream of the crop, the New England Patriots, the standard for the league the last 4 seasons, and try to beat them for the championship? And it was unanimous. We would rather play you guys, bro. How do you guys feel about playing Lone Star in the championship? And are you surprised that we're here?
I am not surprised that you're here. Like I talked about the last time we chatted, you guys have done a lot of great things. You built your team kind of similar to how we have built our team, and you guys talked about that a little bit. Powerful offense, a lot of weapons, ability to exploit, lots of matchups, which I really like. When you get to the playoffs, it's all about matchups.
Mm-hmm.
How many positive matchups can you create for yourself and win? It doesn't so much matter during the regular season because you're playing lots and lots and lots of different teams. But in the playoffs, it's 1 week at a time. And the only thing you have to do to advance is to have the matchup that you need to beat that next team that's ahead of you. And I feel like you guys have built your team that way with lots of different weapons. So I'm not really surprised that you guys are here at all. I'm excited to play you guys. I love the offense. I think it's going to make for a pretty exciting game, back and forth. Both teams have a pretty good offense. Both teams have a great defense, have the ability to make a lot of splash plays, interceptions, sacks. I think that's going to make for an exciting game. And I really like your organization. I love the show. I love the atmosphere that you guys create. And I think we have some of that as well. And so the two of us together, I think this has been a great championship week for the league.
So let me ask you just kind of a two-part question before I bring Jack on the show. We played you guys back in week 7. You beat us by 14 points. You've had 2 playoff games, and it doesn't really look like you've been tested. You beat London 43-14. You took care of Louisiana 34-7. You only ended up with the number 2 seed instead of the number 1 seed, I think, which you had last year. Is there a difference in your team in these playoffs, and does it go back to the matchups that you talked about versus the regular season? Not that you were bad in the regular season at all. Obviously, you only lost a couple games. But have you guys found a way to step your game up in the postseason? Because you really, if you look at the scores, you guys haven't even been challenged in the postseason.
Well, every game's a challenge. I think we all know that any game can go any way. If those games happen on a different day, maybe it's a very different outcome. So sometimes you get lucky and just score a bunch of points and have a really good game. Have we, our builds, the whole plan is to kind of lead up to the playoffs and try to peak in the playoffs. That's kind of the plan of our team build. We have plays that we save for the playoffs. We have abilities that we add right at the end of the season in preparation for the playoffs. And then the way we game plan is a little bit different in the playoffs, and it really is more about exploiting matchups. And, every season, every game, I learn something. So when we play in the playoffs, for this particular team, I have, week 13, playoff week 1, I have 12 weeks of experience with this team. And I've had a chance to test lots of plays, try lots of things and different approaches in games. And about the playoffs is when I start to feel comfortable. Like, I know, what playbook I want to use. I know what plays I want to use. I've tried this against this defense. I've tried this against that defense. So even for me, having done this for some time, it's still a learning experience throughout the playoffs or throughout the season, because every team is different. Mm-hmm. We don't have the same team that we had last year. We don't have the same personnel. So I think that plays a big role in us being more successful in the playoffs, and I'm sure the same is true for Tim on the defense. And sorry, I talked too much. I don't remember the second part of your question.
That's all right. You pretty much answered everything. So you're good, T. You're good. Before I go, I'm going to go around the panel and see if they have questions for you or Jack. But let me go to Jack first. Jack, welcome back to the show, bro. How you doing tonight?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me again. It's been a little while, but I guess finally, now that we got this matchup, I can hop back on.
Right, there you go. I think were you on the show earlier this season when we played each other? I don't remember.
I was not, no.
You weren't, okay. Well, let me ask you this. So you have 6 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, and you've been sacked 4 times in this postseason. You've thrown for, looks like about 600, almost 600 yards in the 2 games that you've had. I want to start off asking you kind of something similar I just asked T-Pat. Do you, as a quarterback and as a leader of your offense, do you feel like you've seen a challenging defense yet this playoffs?
I think it's interesting because, London is a team that we face a lot. So there's definitely, I guess that defense, they came out with something that didn't necessarily surprise us as much because it's something that we've gotten used to facing. And T-Pat would know more about that than I did because he delved more into the offensive game planning part of it. And I think facing Louisiana was different because, I only remember facing them one time, I believe. And that was a game that we lost as well. But I think the challenge really isn't necessarily reflected in the scoreline. I think it's reflected more in the game planning that we had to do all week. And I know that, London is always a tough team to game plan against. And then Louisiana, not having seen a lot of them before, that was also tough. So I think really the process kind of reflects more of how tough of a week it is for us than the final result. And obviously the process went well for us, and we were able to pull out wins on those days, but that doesn't necessarily mean that it wasn't a challenging week for us.
How do you feel about this Lone Star defense that you have to match up against this Saturday? I don't know how much you've seen us or how much you've studied us yet, but from what you have seen, what are your thoughts about facing this Lone Star defense this Saturday?
Yeah, there's a lot of playmakers. I think we've faced you guys twice. One this season and then one either the last season or the season before. I think we won both of those games.
You did win.
Both times.
I don't know if you remember. I think it was last season before we played I think it was the last game of the season or the first round of the playoffs, and it was like a 60-something to 40-something game. It was like off the rails.
Yeah, it was the playoffs. It was the quarterfinals, I believe.
Yeah.
And I think, it was a close game both times that we played. And I think that'll be reflected this week too. You guys are a tough team. You've got great leadership. Charles, obviously, he's been here a long time. He knows what he's doing. And I think, both on the offensive and defensive side of the ball, coaches, it's a really respectable leadership and really respectable players. So I think it'll be tough. But, we've gotten used to facing tough teams, and I think we'll just have to wait and see how it goes.
Let me before I go last round of questions for you guys. Let me see if the panel has anything for you guys. Charles, let me start with Charles. Do you have anything for either T-Pat or Jack Wigmore tonight about the game on Saturday?
Wow. I guess for T-Pat, on the last game versus Louisiana, did you expect your defensive line to be as aggressive as they were?
I feel like games are kind of hit and miss. We kind of feel like defensive linemen have games where they're on and off. And, I think part of what played into that last week, to be totally honest, Louisiana's run offense is, or their offense is like run, possession pass, run, possession pass. I think those possession passes, short drops, short routes kind of dispose themselves to sacks if you don't complete them right away, because you're taking really short drops, and if you have defensive linemen who can win right away, you might end up with a game where you get a lot of sacks like they did. They also used a lot of play action passes, which can work sometimes, but if you got good coverage on the back end, you might get some coverage sacks. One thing I wanted to say that I just wanted to highlight that I think one thing not many people are talking about in this game that I think could play a big role is special teams. I know you guys have Greg Soto as your returner, and you also have several players who have special teams demon. We have a kicker.
I don't know what you're talking about, T-Pat, at all. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I think you got bogus information. You shouldn't plan on.
Oh, okay, all right.
Yeah, there's an error with the file download from the portal.
What's that?
There's an error with the file download from the portal.
There you go.
Oh, okay. So we've got a kicker, we've got a punter, we've got our star wide receiver returning kicks. I really wouldn't be surprised if a special teams play is the difference in this game. And if you guys remember from the championship last year, I think pretty much the first sequence of the game, we had a fumble on a kickoff return that really changed the course of the whole game. So that's something I would look for in this game.
I wouldn't be surprised by that either. So first of all, yeah, great kick returners on both teams. Albert, we've got Jack Wigmore, we've got T-Pat here. Do you have a question or a comment for them as we welcome Dwayne, the co-owner of St. Louis, to the show? Welcome, Dwayne.
My comment is the last two games, you faced a very heavy pass and then a very heavy run team. And I noticed maybe that when you play the pass team, you guys destroy them in the pass. And then when you play the run team, you destroy them in the run. Was that something that you guys did on purpose, or was that just by AI God, mistake?
I think it's just the way that the games kind of play out. When you play a heavy running team, that was also a team where when we played Louisiana, we got ahead big. And once you get ahead big, you start running the ball a lot more. Whereas if the game's a little more back and forth, you might be passing more. But it wasn't something that we did intentionally. I have a question for Dwayne.
Oh, Dwayne,
can I ask Dwayne a question?
Yeah, Dwayne. I don't know if he's listening. I don't know how involved or engaged he is, but go ahead.
I just want to know what beer I should bring him to Las Vegas.
All right, there you go.
Same question for you, Dave Exes.
There you go, Dwayne. He wants to know what beer you want to make. As we also welcome Zach Holdorf to the show. Good to see you, bro. We'll see what Dwayne has to say about that as we go to Soto. Soto, do you have a question for either T-Pat or Jack Wigmore?
No. Just good luck on Saturday, and can't wait to get out there. That's it.
As I just saw everybody's favorite quarterback, Ace Fennick, jumping in here. Ace, welcome to the show. Good to see you too as well. All right, final two questions, one for each of you. Jack, let me start with you real quick. As you see, you've played in, 2 championship games now, I think. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. Based on those two, based on what you've seen on Lone Star, what type of game or what type of scoring do you see? Is this going to be a high-scoring affair on Saturday, or are you anticipating a defensive battle?
Well, I think the AI is going to do what it's going to do, and we can only wonder what APF 2K8 does. sometimes it acts in mysterious ways that we can never understand. I think these are two really strong defenses, and I think these defenses have the ability to make it a very low-scoring game. I'm not going to say that that's what's going to happen, but I think if these two defenses play the way that we know they can play, I think it could be a low-scoring game.
So, T-Pat, same question to you. You've scored quite a bit of points here the last couple of weeks. You scored 34 against Louisiana. You scored 43 against London. We had a low-scoring game against Vancouver, held them to 17 as I believe they're the number 1 or number 2 offense in the league. How do you see Saturday shaking out as far as offense versus defense?
I think it's going to be a high-scoring game. And that doesn't necessarily mean I think the defenses won't be good. I think there's going to be some interceptions, some pick sixes, some big special teams plays. So I kind of, even if the defense really shows out, I think it's going to end up being a high-scoring game.
Well, we'll see what happens. Good luck to you guys. I hope you guys do well, but not well enough to beat us, obviously. But T-Pat and Jack, you guys have been great supporters of all our shows. You've been great supporters of Lone Star. We really appreciate you. You guys are a classy organization, and we thank you for being on the show tonight.
Thank you.
Thanks, Dave.
You got it. All right, folks. T-Pat and Jack Wigmore from the reigning champion and 2 of the last 3 championships, Baltimore Vultures, who will be our opponent this Saturday, May 14th at 2:30 Eastern. Before we go to Mike All, we've been putting off something all show because we're waiting for somebody to get back so we could do it. So before we go to Mike All, Charles, let's talk about all season long. Each week we've had a different Lone Star model. We put out the voting to see who is the Lone Star model of the year. We decided that we would acknowledge second place and first place. So do you want to go ahead and take the reins on that and let us know who came in second place, what percentage of votes they got or whatever, and then we'll crown the winner?
Well, I appreciate all the votes from the fans watching at home. It was a close race, but I guess I'll start from number 2. Are you ready with the graphics? Number 2 at 16% of the votes is Turn Out the Lights, Freddie.
So Freddie got the second most votes out of how many were there, Charles? 10 or
about 3,050.
Yes. 10 different models that we voted on or that everybody voted on. Fab 5-6, Freddie, you are the runner up. You are the second most Lone Star popular model. Freddie, how you feeling tonight? And I think you're back. I'm hoping you're back.
I'm feeling good, Dave, and all I want to do is say thank you. Thank you very much to all my fans.
Oh, that's perfect. All right, Charles, who won this shindig? Who won this bad boy?
Okay, this was clearly the winner. I mean, when you see the picture, it just speaks for itself. I mean, this individual is. I mean, first of all, I didn't even know that he had these skills when he went, off the field. But you have to give the number 1 model for season 18 to DJ Gunny.
DJ Gunny in his house with the sideways cap, hanging out with Oprah and all the A-list peeps. Wiki. Gunny, congratulations for winning Lone Star Model of the Year. How do you feel tonight?
I'm good. I'm bringing my 2 turntables up to Tennessee in a few weeks.
2 turntables and a mic. There you go. Boom. That's awesome. Well, we want to thank everybody that voted. It was a close vote, and I believe, Charles, did every single model get at least 1 vote?
Yes.
So everybody got a vote. So listen, at the end of the day, we're all winners.
Yeah, we all walk away with a trophy.
Everybody gets a trophy, but the biggest trophies go to Freddie and Gunny. Congrats, Gunny. Congrats, Freddie, on being Lone Star models of the season for season 18. And Charles, thanks for putting all that together, bro. Appreciate it.
Are you going to have when you do your vow renewals? Are you going to have DJ Gunny scratch a little bit?
I might. I'm sure I could work a deal. I have some pull with the DJ, so yeah.
Should, because he's got skills, man.
I think he does too. So yeah, I think I could pull some strings, bro. All right, everybody. Thank you again for voting. We're gonna go to Mike All, and then after Mike All, we're gonna have some breaking news here on the 15th ride on the road to glory. Mike All, are you with us, bro?
Sure, I am here.
Welcome back to the show. How are you doing tonight, man?
Hungry, baby.
I bet you are. As most of you should already know by now, and if you don't, Mike All comes on the program, doesn't tell us what he's going to talk about, but he does have one very, very important prerequisite, and that is he needs to be eating a bag of chips. So, Mike, what are you eating tonight, bro?
So, Dave, I thought I'd go a little outside the box. Not much, but a little. So I've got these Ritz toasted chips.
What's the flavor? Sour cream and onion. Sour cream and onion Ritz toasted chips. Are they round like a Ritz, or what do they look like? They're like, what the fuck shape is that? That's not even like a...
That's like fish shape.
It's not... Oh, is that what it is? It's like, it's not a rectangle.
It's not a fish though, but look, it's like all curvy.
It looks like...
It's bent like your penis, Dave.
Wait, well, how do you... Oh, that's right. You do know. Never mind. Yeah, we won't tell everybody how you know that.
I was gonna say curvy like Mike All, but damn.
Well, I guess Bullet just got some more material for next week. So, Mike, we're not too bad on the time, but we're not gonna go crazy tonight. But what do we have?
I'm not doing bad on the time. Okay.
We're not even to the bottom of the hour yet. Mike,
no, we're at the halfway point.
Well, after this, we have a big breaking news announcement before we do the closing stuff. So, Mike, what are we talking about tonight, bro?
Well, before I get into the topic, I just want to say maybe DJ Gunny and I could do a little tag team, a little duo setup because obviously I'm a wedding DJ too,
Is that right? I don't know. You lost me at tag team, but go ahead.
Well, we could both tag team you, Dave. But yeah, so my topic tonight,
dude, I wanted to. Soto just the face. Oh, both at Albert, they're just scratching their heads. All right, what do you got, bro?
So with expansion nearly here, Dave.
Yeah.
And that's 92 more spots that need to be filled. There's going to be, other than the announcements that have already been made about new owners in places, there's going to be a lot of player movement this offseason. And I was thinking about the fact that there's a lot of teams that might be, really reaching to try and keep some of these players by promoting them to new positions in the front office so that they don't lose some quality people.
Right.
You think it's like a last ditch effort to keep some of these quality guys, or like a preemptive strike so they don't think about it because of people reaching out?
I will. I'll throw this to Charles in just a second, but let me just say my point of view on that is, if you have to offer someone a front office position just to keep them, you might want to look in the mirror and figure out what you're doing wrong as a franchise. So that's what I'd say about that. So Charles, that being said, by the way, just for the record, we have never, ever at Lone Star in our 5 seasons offered someone a front office position just to keep them. As a matter of fact, if you scroll back in player openings and whatever other openings, team staff openings, whatever, we never post anything. We don't chase at Lone Star, and I don't mean that to talk shit. I'm just saying we have a good group here, and I don't ever think that should be on the table, Mike, that you have to almost bribe somebody into staying with your team. So that being said, Charles, I'll give you the next take on that.
No, I agree with you, Dave, 100%. If somebody wants to leave, they want to leave, and you just gotta let them go. It's not always the best situation, but putting them in a position that they may not be qualified for, or there might be other people on the team that want to stay and bust their ass. It's it's not good. And to your point about no opening posted for Lone Star. That I don't understand the whole rationale around that. It's like, it's like a team saying, "Hey, everybody, look, I've got herpes.
I don't know if
Is
that
is that true, Greg? Does he have herpes?
I was just like, well, he's. I don't know, Greg. Can you look up and see? Does he?
Yeah, look up and see.
No, it's like, why would you post? You got 18 freaking openings. I mean, come on.
Right. Well, right, Charles. So Albert, based on what Charles just said,
I'm being fondled by Greg.
I know you
by
are.
the way.
That's a great
Virtual
hip hop
fondling.
hooray! Ho! Hey!
Oh!
Hey! Hey! Ho!
Oh!
He brought up a good point. Albert.
You're supposed to say that tickles when I do
It
that.
does. It does.
You're supposed to go.
He brought up a good point, Albert. Is it more detrimental to your franchise to say, you basically advertise, hey, we're so desperate that we're going to put somebody in a position that they may not be qualified for? Or is it more desperate to go into, I don't know what is it player content or whatever it is, player openings, I think, and team openings or staff openings or whatever it is, and be like, hey, we need to fill all these positions because we can't fill them internally. What's a worse look for you, and what's your take on the overall scenario?
I mean, if you're going to promote, you want to first promote within, I would think. Because that beast, instead of going to the SFLM and getting someone you don't know.
Right.
I mean, but if you have to give someone a position to keep them to stay there, that means they're not happy no matter what. So they're going to take your information you're teaching them, and they're going to go somewhere else next season. So now you just train someone to go and beat you next season.
Right, and take their skills somewhere else. Take their talents to South Beach, basically, yeah.
So, I mean, I could see if they want the job, they deserve the job, and they're promoting within, that's fine. But if you're doing just to keep someone, then you're setting yourself up to fail.
Soto, before I get to you real quick, T-Pat in the chat. Will breaking news be that Dave is pulling a TB12 and unretiring 2 weeks after announcing his retirement? No, T-Pat, wishful thinking, bro. That's not going to happen. But, Soto, you and I have actually had some conversations about this privately. Let's be honest. Sometimes internally, it's not always the best fit, and you do have to look externally. That happens. But I kind of feel, and I think this is probably maybe why Mike brought it up, if you're offering somebody a position that they may not either deserve or be qualified for just to keep their player on the field, number one, it seems like overkill to me. And number two, who's to say they won't take that one season of experience and then bounce like Albert just said?
Yeah, I mean, that's a chance you take. True. I mean, if that's the way you're going into it, but you always want to, especially if they've been on the team, you want to have honest conversations. You want to have honest conversations with that person. Do you really want to do this? Internally, how do we feel about this person doing that job or taking that on? Again, I do believe that we should all look first within our own organizations to give people that chance, that opportunity that maybe they didn't have before. But again, you gotta have honest conversations to know what you're getting into, and to also let the team know what you're able to offer. Because again, we do this we volunteer to do all this stuff. So if you're gonna take a position, make sure that you have the time, that you make the time to be able to do it, and really know yourself and your own schedule, and make sure that you could actually possibly do the job that you want to do and that you said you would do. So
that's actually a great point. And I'm going to see if T-Pat is still with us. I want to bring him in here in a second. But Charles, I know that you and I talked earlier, and you had about an hour and a half budget because you have to get up early in the morning. Do you need to bounce, or are you still good to go?
Oh, I'm bouncing, bro.
You got to go? Okay. All right, folks, everybody, so wave goodbye to Charles. Charles has to go. Everybody wave bye-bye to Charles. Charles got to go.
Love you, Charles.
Charles got to go nighty-night. He's got to get up early in the morning for work or some shit. I don't know.
Thank you for everything, Dave.
You got it, bro. I'll see you. Hey, I'll see you next week, man.
Mm-hmm.
Good night, Charles.
Later, bro. T-Pat, are you still with us, bro?
Yep.
So you heard. I'm assuming you heard Mike's question. You've heard the discussion we've had. And Greg brought up a good point too. Is sometimes these people or these players, they want a title, but they don't. I don't think they understand the time investment the effort investment that's involved in being a scout, a coach, a GM, an owner, or what have you. Would you agree or disagree that it's a bad look to give somebody a front office position just to keep them because they want to leave?
I mean, that's kind of a very specific scenario. You have somebody who definitely wants to leave, and you're trying to do something to keep them there.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, I think that would not be the greatest idea because, I don't know, my grandfather used to always say, a man convinced against his will is of the same opinion still.
Yep.
But I don't have a problem with giving people more responsibilities and trying to find ways to get them involved in the team. I think we've had great success doing that. And, you know, I think it's a win-win if you do it. If you can do it well, it's a win-win because you get people who are more involved and you get some help doing different tasks that, you know, in and of themselves don't take a long time, but they kind of all add up.
Right.
And so instead of you doing all those small little tasks, you have other people who feel passionate about them doing them. But then it's a win for the player because I think Jack could probably attest to this too. When you're actually involved in the day-to-day scouting, game planning, doing social media, you've invested a lot more, and then the games mean a lot more. I mean, the games mean a lot more to me now than when I wasn't a coach.
Right.
Because, you know, I put my heart and soul into scouting, game planning, whatever. So it's like many things in life, you get out of them what you put into them. And if you can give your players an opportunity to put more in, you got to feel like they're going to get more out. That's obviously a different situation than somebody who says, I'm leaving, and then you try to keep them. But in general, I think it's a good thing to try to get people more involved if they want to be.
If they want to be. Yeah, I agree with that. Let me welcome Eddie Gage to the program. Eddie, what up, though? Good to see you, bro. Better late than never. Yogi, are you still around? Let me pick your brain for a second. Yogi Bar is the co-GM along with Albert for the Lone Star Glory. Yogi, are you still here, bro? If you are, you're muted, bro. Or he may not be here. I was going to get Yogi's take on that. Maybe Yogi will come back before. I'm going to go back to the panel one more time before we wrap this up.
I'm here, Dave.
Oh, okay, there
I'm
you
here.
go. Perfect. Eddie Gage in the chat. Just got home from my daughter's orchestra. Hope she did well, Eddie Gage. Hope she turned it out. Let me see. It sounds difficult with his D putting. Oh, Kendra. Okay. So Yogi, you've been listening to the chat?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So what's your take? And listen, T-Pat's right. That's a very specific scenario. Keeping people because they want, or offering them something because they want to leave. But is there maybe a middle ground between offering something to somebody because they're going to leave and not offering something to somebody who may or not be happy? Is there a middle ground where maybe you just start the process and say, hey, give them a little responsibility. If they do well, you know, then you give them some more, etc. Or what's your take on that?
Well, you know, in a leadership role, you're always looking for talent. So I think you groom that talent, and you also reward people for their loyalty. I don't think you need to lure somebody to stay on your team with a role in your organization, but I think you need to groom people, and you need to give them a boost for being around, being loyal, and learning what they've learned.
So me being a military person, and Greg, I'll go back to you on this. Me being a military person, you train the people below you to replace you, because in the military, you're going to get promoted, then they have to fill your spot, and they need to be prepared for that. Do you kind of feel like that's the same way here in the SFL, where you should train a scout to scout before they can coach, train a coach to coach before they can GM, et cetera, or do you think there's some shortcuts here in the SFL?
Yeah, for the most part, I think. I mean, that's the right way to do it. For the most part, yeah, that's. I think in my opinion, a good to great organization will do it that way. Now, of course, look, again, when it comes to, we all have real lives. We do this for fun.
Yep.
Can we all have the best intentions and then have them go awry and then not being able to fulfill what we wanted to do?
Right.
And have to then take a step back and say, hey, and again, it goes back to what I said before: communication and honesty. I think, I'll take myself for instance. Wanting to come into LSG and be a offensive coordinator. And if something was going to happen that I couldn't do that, I would go to Charles or anybody or Albert in this case, being the head coach, and say, "Hey, man, I really wanted to do it, but I just can't." I think that's the right way to do it. But if you're going to continue to do it that way and you do it the right way, the lines of communication have to be completely open and honest.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, yes, we're having fun, but we're still doing this for not only for ourselves, but there's like 19, 20 other people that are taking their time out of their day to do anything on Discord or do anything for the team or social media. So it is, it's a wheel that continues turning, and you're part of it. So if you can't, for whatever reason, I truly believe that you need to be honest and open with your higher ups in the organization and tell them, look, I can't do that right now. So yeah, I do think though, it is kind of like what you said in the SFL. I think the good to great teams do that. I don't think everybody does that, but that's the way it should be done.
Yeah, there's always going to be some teams that are always just trying to fill holes, and I get that part. I mean, it's just the nature of the beast. Eddie Gage said she was one of 2 who performed a solo act. So Eddie, give your daughter, give her our best, and congratulations on that. I see lots of comments on this. Harish said he had a player leave to become a GM. Then a week later, my GM stepped down. So Albert, before we get to our breaking news here in just a few minutes, let me ask you about that. Is a lot of this just timing? Is it just, what's that old saying that basically luck is opportunity and preparedness, meeting at the same point, right? Is it a lot of that, or do you think it is more of teams wanting to keep people and offering things that maybe they're just not ready for?
I think it's lack of communication with their team and a respect that way. I mean, just like anywhere, even in LSG, if we know someone wants to be a coach, we throw them in the scouting. But they come out fourth, and there's that opportunity for them to do that.
Right.
Now, it is selfish for teams to go out and say, try to get someone because he is a graphic designer and wants him to do all their stuff, all their graphics for them. But that's how teams are. It's not good for that player because they get a sour taste of the SFL when they do that, because then it looks like the only reason why I want you is because you could do something for the team.
Right. Well, Mike, let's bring it all back to you. Is that really a bad thing? I mean, if I know somebody who can do social media really, really well, and they have a decent build, and I know that I've got good coaches, and we can give them the right progression and whatever, make a good thing. Is there anything wrong with going out after somebody for maybe an ulterior motive, if you will? Or is it on the field first, and then maybe if they can offer you something? I don't necessarily believe in that, but what do you think?
Well, as a GM, the way I approach it is relationship first. Do I have a relationship with that person? If I do, and they have an ability outside of just their player, and I think we have a chance of landing them on our team, I'll say, hey, we really want you here, and if you're up for it, you can also do this if you'd like, because I know you enjoy doing it.
Right.
But I don't make them do it. I don't say, hey, you're going to come here, you're going to do this, and you're going to like it.
Right.
Well, that's just not a good way of doing it. But yeah, I had thoughts too of, with the fact, like I said, 92 wide open spots, for sure, definitely coming into the SFL next season. There's going to be, like I said, there's going to be a lot of movement. There's already a lot of talk about free agents who have already declared.
Right.
Maybe it's not a player that is telling you they want to leave and you're just like, here, take this position and you can stay. What if it's somebody that hasn't really expressed interest one way or the other, or somebody that you think other teams are going to come after because they're not only a great person, but they're talented with other things other than just on the field.
Or they're just active or whatever, right?
Yeah. And so you're like, you see that there's a possibility maybe they're going to be taken because people will come with a a really good pitch or whatever, and want them on their team, and you don't want that to happen. So you're like, hey, you've been real loyal to us. How about I give you this position and move you up in the organization?
I want to comment on that real quick. Master Guns 5, evening everyone. Can't stay long. Just wanted to bug Dave for a minute. Congratulations to LSG and good luck. Go whip some V ass. LOL. No, just kidding. It should be a great game. Yeah, Master Guns, thank you, bro. Appreciate you and all your support. It will be a great game. And so Mike, at Lone Star, we have a few sayings, a few philosophies there, and one of which is many hands make light work. Right? It's Soto can't do everything. Charles can't do everything. Albert can't do everything. I can't do everything. We have people who help out with stats. We have scouts. We have coordinators. We have coaches. We have GMs. We have my position. We have an owner. I think a good organization spreads out the responsibility for two reasons. Number one, to make sure nobody gets burned out, right? You don't want anybody getting burned out in this league because we have seen people get burned out, putting in too much time and then leaving. But also to help other people get experience doing things and helping replace you if you have to leave. I guess I don't see another way or another reason why you wouldn't do it that way. And any of you three, if you think I'm wrong, please correct me. But I don't see I just don't know why you would do it a different way.
I got some. Go ahead, Mike.
No, you're good, Yogi. Go ahead.
I got something for you, Dave. It's the other side of the coin. I'm going to use your and my situation our first year with Lone Star. They brought me in. They told me they were going to make me a general manager, which I thought was ahead of my curve. I wasn't really ready for it. Then they came back to me and said, we're thinking about making you and Dave co-manager, co-GMs. And my response to that was, look, I want to play for Lone Star. I don't care about the general manager role.
Right.
It made more sense for you to be general manager because you had run your show. You had more contact to more people. What it in turn did for me is it led me to be the progression builder for the San Jose flight.
Right.
And I got to learn the ins and outs of progression from doing that. So it led me to other positions and other knowledge by being, permeable with a change. I didn't. It wasn't about the position. I didn't need the position. So it just made more sense to make you the general manager, and we did it, and everything worked out great. That's what you have to look at is players that want to be there first and then have other responsibilities added on later.
So let me ask you a question on that, Yogi. So real quick, let me tell everybody, I want to wrap this show up in the next 10 minutes, and we still have some breaking news. So let's wrap this up. But I do want to ask Yogi a question before I throw it back to Mike. Yogi, but in that scenario, you sacrificed for the team, or you put team before yourself. In that situation, if you were basically like, I want to be GM or co-GM, or I'm going to bounce, should Lone Star have bent to you? Should they have given in to you, or should they have let you go?
They should have let me go if I was going to be like that. It should always be team first.
I agree with that.
That's how you get to this position.
Yep, I agree, Yogi. All right, Mike, this is back to you for your final thoughts and your final words before we wrap it up.
All right. Well, my first thought is I hope you guys at LSG didn't put Yogi in too many positions. He's getting kind of old and his flexibility is declining.
You'd be surprised by his flexibility.
Yeah. But yeah, so I was just curious as to what everybody thought about that. With teams maybe being preemptive and trying to keep some of their good players from being poached.
I think
by offering positions.
Yeah, I think if you're in a position where you are offering people positions they don't necessarily rate just to keep them, your team is in a dire and desperate situation, and you might want to reflect on that and figure some other things out first. That's my take on it, Mike. So, all right, folks, all that and a Ritz sour cream bag of curvy rectangle-ish kind of things. I don't know what those are exactly, but Mike, thanks for being on here again. Thanks for always being on here. Looking forward to your very final all that in a bag of chips next Wednesday.
I'm not looking forward to the last one, Dave, because that means you're all done. But thank you anyways.
All right.
Do we finally get Mike All in the bathtub covered in chips next week?
That would be.
I mean, that's what I've been holding out for all season.
Well, dude, if that happens, I might reconsider staying.
I mean, if that's what it takes, Dave.
I mean, there's only certain things. You know what? Let's talk. Hey, slide into my DMs later, bro.
That's a lot of bag of chips.
All right, Mike, all that and a bag of chips. Mike, thank you, bro. Appreciate it, man.
Yes, sir.
All right, folks. As you know, Mike always brings the good topics. We always talk. I just saw a few more people jump in. I want to make sure. Have I missed saying hi to anybody who's jumped in before we do this breaking news? Oh, Achilles is here. Achilles, what's up, bro? That's my LA bro right there. We both grew up in LA. Achilles, good to see you, bro. Welcome to the show. I said Bob Funk already. I said Dwayne. I said Eddie. Who else is in here? Is there anybody in here? If I haven't said hi to you, just at me in the chat, and I'll throw you a shout out real quick. But that being said, let's do some more Lone Star breaking news. As you know, 2 weeks ago, was it last show or the show before? I think it might have been the show before. Lone Star announced that Dave Axis and Adam Williams, the Worm, the Diva and the Worm, will be... Oh, first time chat from viewer. Oh, Achilles. There you go. Good. Attaboy. Will be retiring and leaving the SFL at some point in the offseason once we get done with the season. And, I missed Tina. I'm sorry. Tina began. I don't know if you're still listening, but you're always welcome. Thanks for being here. Both myself and Worm will be bouncing sometime in the off season after the championship game. After we help Lone Star in the off season, what have you. I don't have a date. I don't have a time. I'll say goodbye. I'll wave to everybody before I bounce. How about that? But we have even more breaking news, and this might even be bigger. Breaking news. Yogi, are you still here? I want to make sure Yogi's still here.
I'm still here.
Okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen of the SFL, some of this has already been leaked out. Some of you already know about it. There it is. Sneaky Tina begin. Hi, Diva Dave. Hi, Sneaky Tina. Are you breaking arms tonight? Some people already know about it. It's already been leaked a little bit. But it's important that we get to tell you ourselves. The Lone Star franchise has been sold. Charles Doherty has sold Lone Star, and after the season completes, Charles will no longer be the owner of Lone Star. Yes, Guy Clausen sold. Did they really, Eddie? I didn't see it. I didn't see them, but they broke the news, really? I just checked their Twitter today. I didn't see it. But I want to welcome and congratulate the two new co-owners of the Lone Star Glory, Albert Begin and Yogi Barr, who will be taking over in the offseason and will be the owners for season 19. First of all, Albert, Yogi, I want to say congratulations. You guys have earned this. You deserve it. And this kind of goes back to Mike's topic. You guys have put the work in, and I'm happy for both of you. Albert, let me go to you first since you're on camera. I know we still have one more game to go. I know Charles is still the owner for at least another week or so. But how do you feel about taking Lone Star over, moving into the offseason and into season 19?
I feel excited. I've always wanted to be an owner. Lone Star has been family to me since you guys let me come over, and I found out that Charles maybe wanted to sell, and I didn't want this beautiful family to break up, and I stepped in, me and Yogi, and we're gonna take care of this baby as best as we can, and I'm very excited about the future of Lone Star.
That's awesome. Yogi, let me bring you in, bro. You and I have been here at Lone Star since day one, and I can't say that I'd be happier if anybody else got the team other than you. So just congratulations, bro, and how you feeling, man?
Appreciate it. Albert and I got together when he came over here, and we just became best of friends. This opportunity came up, and we just saw it as we wanted to keep Lone Star as is, where is, and right where we are, and we'd like to continue this ride. We've, you have provided us a lot of personnel that surround us that is, I believe, is going to make this job easier. Just excited and looking forward to continuing on the tradition of Lone Star Glory.
And like a lot of successful teams, like let's say the Lakers. I'll just take Lakers, they're my favorite team. You had the Magic and Kareem days, and they pass it on to the Kobe days, and they just keep winning, and they keep doing what they do as a franchise. I don't expect anything different from you guys, from you two at all. And I just thank you guys for. I'm glad that it stayed in the family. First of all, that was pretty important to me personally. I'm glad that that it's you guys, or at least somebody from Lone Star, right? To keep it in the family, keep the band together, if you will. So Albert, Yogi, one more time, congratulations to both of you. Now it's public news. It is known to the entire league, the SFL. Eddie Gage, I guess I'll have to check that Twitter account and see if they broke it or not. I checked it earlier today. I didn't see anything on it, but whatever. I don't know how they do.
And for our first motion as owners, we'd like to offer Greg Soto a 3-year extension to his contract.
Look at him shaking. He's like, 3 years. That's a long time, bro.
What comes with that?
Yeah.
We'll talk off camera about that.
Oh, here we go. This goes back to Mike. Hammocks for life. This is going back to Mike All's question. Soto's about to bounce if he doesn't get like the whole
banana
package.
hammocks for life.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, first of all, let me say this. Obviously, huge congratulations to Albert and Yogi, and I'm glad it's staying in the family. But let's, as our last topic tonight, let's talk about what an amazing owner Charles has been for this franchise. Lone Star has been through some turmoil, some ups and downs, but all the way through, Charles has helped build a very successful franchise, one of the most advertised, most recognizable franchises in the SFL. He's been to playoff. He took this team playoffs 4 out of the 5 seasons. Wait, 15, 16, 17, 3 out of the 4. Sorry, 3 out of the 4 seasons he was here. And let's be honest, he's a great guy. He's somebody that we would all want to work for, work with, hang out with, party with, the whole 9 yards. I'm just going to go around the horn real quick, and then we're going to wrap this up. Any words to Charles? Albert, let me start with you.
I miss him. He was a great owner. I mean, he was caring. He cared about Lone Star, cared about all the people in it. And it's sad to see him walk away from this franchise. And I'm going to miss him. And I'm going to miss him. And my wife, Tina's going to miss him. And it's just it's sad to see him go. It really is.
Yogi, let me ask you next before I go to Soto, and then we'll wrap everything up. Yogi, words about Charles.
Not worthy of being an owner behind him, but I'm going to do the best I can with what he's built, try to keep this thing going. Definitely going to miss him. He's been a great owner. He knows everything about every player on the team. He can converse with you about anything going on. You could always come to Charles, and I had a great time meeting him at the convention last year and bringing him a case of his favorite libation.
Oh, it was that Yangling?
Yangling, yes, sir.
Yeah, absolutely. Soto, I know you work hand in hand with Charles every day. You guys are two offensive gurus that bounce off of each other. You put your brains together, all that, to make this offense what it's been over the last few seasons. Your thoughts about Charles before we sign off tonight?
Yeah, I literally talk to the guy like every damn day for 2.5 seasons, 3 seasons. So, yeah, I'm gonna miss him. He showed me what I needed to do on offense, how I needed to look at things, and elevated me to a point where I didn't think I could do it. Gave me some stuff this year to do. He thought I could do it. When I did it, he thought I was crazy. And yeah, I'm definitely gonna miss him. I literally chat or talk to the guy like every day. So yeah, I mean, I owe a lot to him in what I'm doing now. it's just it's sad, but one of those things in teams. Next man up.
Yep.
Congratulations
Next
to
man up.
Albert and Yogi, and I think we're on the right path. Charles got us there, and I have one more mission left for Charles, so that he gave me, and I'll hopefully that comes through fruition on Saturday around 5:00. So
let's hope.
So yep. That's
all right.
I gotta say.
Yogi, Albert, congratulations. The three of you, thank you for your kind words about Charles. We're about to sign off. I do need to make one note. There's been some changes in the organization that is handling the Evan Lacy situation. We might have those up next week for our last show. I'm hoping that we will. If not, I'm sure we will put them in the SFL server or at least in the Road to Glory / Access Live server, whatever, to let you know the changes that have been made as a company or as a organization for the Evan Lacy situation. So there will be no Evan Lacy graphics tonight because those things have changed. But as you all know, Evan Lacy, murdered at a young age. Still haven't found the culprits. Parents and friends and family trying very hard to find who is responsible for his death. So we will give an update next week. Even if we don't have the new organizational situation, we will definitely give an update for that situation. And I also just want to go go back to Charles for 1 second. Charles is my boy, right? I mean, we're as tight as can be in the SFL. He's kind of my partner in crime. We've been kind of running this show for the last 4 seasons. And apparently everybody in the league loves him except for Eddie Gage. So I just wanted to point that out. We wrap up every show, of course, with talking about Objective Zero, contacting veterans, saving lives. Objective Zero has your back, helping veterans deal with suicide and not commit suicide because all that they've done for us and put their lives on the line, they deserve to live a better life than contemplating suicide. Special thanks to the party people, of course, my favorite peeps in the whole wide world, my favorite quarterback in the whole wide world as well, Ace Fennec, Frank the Franchise Wade, Gunny, Bo Martin Jr., Bullet Boletsky, Nate Hall, Yogi Bar, Mike All, Fab56, Freddie. Special thanks to T-Pat and to Wig for being on the show, as well as Albert and Soto being our panelists tonight. Next week, folks, ride number 16, Sweet 16, on the Road to Glory. The party people will be here. We'll break down the championship game with Baltimore. We'll have our Lone Star results. Those were this week. You can take that. You can scratch that off. We'll have our mail call with Gunny, Frank's Franchises segment, all dat in a bag of chips, bullet points, Nate's great plays, what's up down south Yogi, Fab56, Freddie's farewell, and of course it will be the final Road to Glory show. We will have 16 sweet rides on the Road to Glory as we go to our man Fab56 Freddie to sign us off so we can get out of here overtime. Freddie, come sing to us.
Good evening, Dave. Great show as always. Albert, Soto. I want to put my 2 cents in on Charles. Charles is a great person, man. He really been a big mentor for me these last few years as a scout. And he really brought me a long way. He's truly going to be missed. I mean, I'm really going to miss him. I know things have changed and he's got to go on. But anyways, as Danny Don would say, turn out the light, the party's over. They say that all good things must end. We'll call it a night. The party's over. Until next week, where we'll do the final show again. Good night, everybody.
Thank you, Freddie. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in tonight to ride number 15 on the Road to Glory. Special thanks to everybody. I already said thank you to, but even more thanks to T-Pat and Wig for coming on the show. We got a huge, huge game this Saturday. I am hoping, praying, crossing my fingers for bookend championships in this league for myself, and rings for all of my teammates. Like I said before, good luck to T-Pat and Wiggs, but just not enough good luck.
Hey, real quick, and for Eddie, have a glorious good night.
Yes, Eddie. Is Eddie still talking shit about Charles? Yeah. Eddie, where's your conscience, bro? Where's your soul? What is wrong with you? But thank you, everybody. Party people. Let me see if there's. Let me see. Did anybody jump in the chat since I was starting to say goodbye before? Master Guns already said. No, I think that's it. Thank you, everybody. Appreciate all the party people. We will see you for one final show next Wednesday, 9 p.m. Eastern, right here on this Twitch channel as we take our 16th and final ride on the road to glory. Thank you, everybody, once again. May Lone Star have a glorious championship game, and we'll see you next Wednesday. Good night now.